Today's topic is really about relationship capital for greater impact and income. And Mark has done that for how many years now, Mark? Probably a couple.
15 now in this industry, but really it's what we've been doing
Yeah,
in the industry
yeah.
for a long time.
Huge following, lots of collaborations going on, and truly we're honored to have him today. So I would encourage you. I've got my notebook out ready to go as well, and so get ready for Mark Porteous. And so we're going to turn it over and let him take it because we are 20 minutes in. Let's go ahead.
Yes, yes. Thank you
Go
so
ahead,
much.
Mark.
Thanks for everybody for sharing their wins. And I want to have this very interactive, and I want it to be productive for you. But first, I want to say thank you for having me here. I realize that this is a women's network, and I'm a huge proponent of the Dalai Lama's quote that Western women will save the world. And I believe what he meant by that was that it's the women's empowerment. It's not women over men. It's about being able to integrate, and it's about the masculine and the feminine. I have a vision of awakening heaven on earth, and it's by bringing the East and the West and masculine and feminine together. You see the yin yang here. I have 15-year-old twins, a boy named Zen and a daughter named Eden, like a Zen garden and a Garden of Eden. Those are my gardens, and um, that's why I'm really, really excited to be here and to be empowering women to just be more of who you are. And I believe that collaboration is the way to do that. And that's what the Divas Network is all about. So I'm really, really happy to just be here. And I want to provide as much value as I can. So I'm going to actually share a screen if that's okay. I think I can do that. Nope. If you could give me access, but I'll just start off by saying, the idea of this is about mastering the art of strategic alliances. And we're going to talk about three keys to boosting your visibility, your profits, and your partnership success. Okay, I think we can do it now. There we go. Can everybody see my screen? Let me get rid of this piece, put it into slideshow. And I'll just do a little bit of slides that I'll come back to you because I really want to be able to engage and interact. But my passion is really about helping visionary leaders and mission-driven entrepreneurs just like you to elevate your impact and your income through conscious collaborations. A big part of the work that I do is around joint ventures, but different people have different ideas of what a joint venture is. So I just wanted to clarify for me, the definition is anytime two or more business owners or companies come together to create win-win-win situations. I have a win-win here, but we really want to focus. The first win is always on the audience. Uh, Dora and I are collaborators and joint venture partners because we're wanting, how do we serve you and how can she serve our audience? That's always the first thing. And then how do we each benefit from that? So the win-win-win is the first important part of that. There are a lot of different models to do, and we can talk a little bit about some of those. In fact, we'll talk about ways that specifically fit you. Many people just think of like a joint venture launch, a Jeff Walker style launch. I'm curious, how many of you are familiar with a launch? If you want to just put, if you've ever done a launch of any kind, whether that's a book launch, a product launch, an event launch, you can put launch in the chat. But again, there's a lot of different ideas on what they look like and different experiences. So some people may have had collaborations that worked really well, and some people may have had negative experiences. We're going to talk about what makes a great experience. Just a little bit about me. I'm the co-founder of the Soul Affiliate Alliance with my wife. She's actually we call her the wizard behind the curtain. She was behind the curtain for a long time. She's really kind of stepped in front of it now, but she runs the back end of my business and the business below, the JV directory, with my partner, David Rickland, and many of our clients who runs the back ends to keep the systems and the structures flowing. So these are the two companies that I run with my partners, my wife, and David Rickland, founder of selfgrowth.com. These are three books. You see them right behind me that I did as collaborations with our clients, all bestsellers, Amazon bestsellers around soulful leadership. And this is the family that I was talking about, my wife and my two kids. This is why I do what I do. So again, I specialize in guiding experts to leverage integrated partnerships. And that's my favorite type of joint venture. Rather than saying, okay, I'm going to promote you during this time and you promote me during this time, is being able to weave your connections right in. Something like this, where you're just showing up in support, adding value without having to actually be a promotion at all. So Renee and I have, yes, helped thousands of leaders to grow their reach and their revenues by fostering these soulful alliances. And I want to talk first about the benefits, and then we'll get into what you can actually do and how you can use joint ventures to grow your reach, especially here in networking and following up with the people that you're already in the Divas Network with. Uh, Big reasons that people want to joint venture. Number one is increased visibility. You want to get your message out in front of more people. One of the specialties about this, instead of just more people, it's about the right people. In marketing and in sales, we talk about target marketing, but target doesn't always sound so human friendly. So we like to call it aligned audiences. You are my people, so I want to be in front of the people that are here to make a bigger impact and to help other people and to make a greater income. So that's what you want to look for, is the exact right people. These are the two main reasons. Number one, borrowed credibility. So like, and trust Adora. That's why you're here. If she's bringing me in, you know that she must know, like, and trust me. So I get credibility, instant credibility from being a collaborator, JV partner with Adora. So borrowed credibility is one. And then instant influence. What's the difference between credibility and influence? With credibility, you're going to listen to me. With influence, you might actually implement the things that I'm sharing. You're going to try them out. You're going to test out the things that fit for you. So credibility is important to get somebody's attention. Influence is what it takes to create the transformation. They actually have to do something. And then the last thing, one of the biggest benefits is the controlled marketing cost. With Facebook ads or any other type of ads, you pay first and then you hope you make money later. With most joint venture partnerships, you pay based on success. And we can talk a little bit more about that. So these are the main reasons. And then I want to talk about the three things. Like, what do you have? And we're going to focus on essential key number one. In fact, I'll come off of sharing in just a second, because I want to hear from you what you have as far as an offer. And that can be anything. It can be, if I was hearing about skincare products, and if you're in direct marketing and that's your main product, it might be that you're a trainer, a teacher, a speaker, and your product is you. But you have to know what is the transformational promise of your offer, and you have to know that you can sell it. Because if your partners can bring people to you, but then they don't have that influence, if you don't have the influence to actually lead them to something, they're never going to get the results. And so that doesn't work. So how do we know that we have essential key number one? It's primarily with case studies. You have proven results. You either yourself or either somebody on your upline or somebody else has gotten the results. Sometimes you're just starting out. It might be your friends or family that you've helped them to lose weight, or you've helped them to overcome some type of trauma. So if you don't have this is the first thing that you'll want. And I am curious from you, what is the transformational promise of your offer? And so again, the two things that you want to have is a case study, and then oops, the conversion, knowing like, okay, if I promote this, how well will it do? How well will the people who use your product or service, how well will it benefit them? And so these are things that you can be aware of, but we don't want to get bogged down in the essentials. I actually do want to take a pause and find out from all of you, um, if you put something in the chat, that's great. But if somebody could raise their hand, I would love to hear somebody's offer, and just to help get clarity for everybody else about what that means. So, what is the offer of being here as part of the Divas? You're going to make the connections that you need to grow your business. You're going to be able to make more income. We have one for our event, our retreat. So if you're hosting an event, what is the transformational event? How will people be different by showing up there? And I see Justine, your hand is up. Did I pronounce that correctly?
You did. And I'm nervously raising my hand.
I am so proud of you. Thank you for sharing it, raising your hand. So
So
tell me, what is the overall offer that you're?
the overall offer is by working with me in some capacity on a retreat or in a group, or to learn how to do voiceover, that you're going to learn how to have more authentic tone and impact in your voice to create your message and understand yourself better and communicate better overall.
Love that. So I got a couple of things from that. One is even the structure of it. You can provide that through a retreat. You have groups that you do that in, or you work one-on-one to do voiceover. And then you talk about the
Yeah,
result.
and voiceover is one option, but really having more understanding of your voice to have impact for content creation or podcasting or communication even.
Love that. One last question with that then is, what will they get from that?
More money, better relationships, and more serenity and contentment in their life.
Those are all things people will invest a lot of money for.
Right.
Very good. Very clear outcomes. Wonderful. Well, that was a brilliant example. Do you have well, let's talk a little bit more about that. Right now, we're just talking about what is the transformational promise of that. I have like the 5 elements of what goes into a soulful offer. And so I just want to address that real quick. The first thing that goes into the offer is what is the transformation? You just nailed that. The second thing that goes into a offer is the deliverables. How do you deliver that? And you just explain that, either a retreat, group, one or one-on-one. So you want to be able to understand that. The third thing is the thing that people often focus on is the price. How do you figure out the price of it? So do you have a price for your retreat, your group, and your?
So everything is different. The retreats obviously are, depending where we're going, could range from $2,200 to $3,500. The offer, honestly, I am working on that, like the group offer. And I am working with another group called Laughter Works, where we're bringing unlocking joy. And I'm focusing a little bit on that offer right now, which does have to do with the voice and impact. And there is pricing for that for corporate wellness. So that's a corporate package that ranges from $7,500 to $15,000, depending on if it's ongoing or a half-day retreat and that kind of thing.
Beautiful.
But I'm still zeroing in on the question for my reclaim your voice offer. I'm still zeroing in on that.
And again, that's a huge thing to figure out the offer, all of the pieces that go into that as far as the deliverables. That's when you get into like how much one-on-one time are you getting? Is it a 3-month program, a year-long program? And the deliverables is often where people get stuck. And it's really, what does the person need in order to get the results of the transformational promise?
Right.
Anything else is a bonus. And that's the number 3 thing that you add is what are the bonuses? And you want to have bonuses that contribute, that complement, but are not required to get the transformational promise. So you don't want to take something out of the program and call that a bonus if it's really necessary to get the transformational promise, which is the number 1 thing, right?
So can I
Please.
ask about that? Because what I think one bonus for some people would be creating your origin story.
Oh,
which
yeah.
is your book, and I really could help you do that and then help you deliver it. And I feel like that's not what everybody wants, but that would be, but that's a bonus is an added on freebie, right?
Right. Do they need to have the origin story in order to get their voice?
No.
Okay. But what will having their origin story do to help them empower that voice? Tell me.
Amazing things. It will be there in their back pocket whenever they want it. If they want to ever get on stage, if they want to start writing a book, it's also to help unlock their voice, to figure out why they were shut down ever with their voice. So that origin story can serve them in many, many ways, and possibly be their TED Talk or be the launch for their short book or a chapter or an article.
I wrote down all those. So yeah, so the first thing is it's repeatable. Once they have that story, then they can go right to that. and then it just gets better and better, more honed. It's also meaningful, like people will be able to relate to it. And as you said, it becomes their transition story. So there's a lot of very powerful reasons why, if they don't have that, this will be a great bonus. And even if they think they have that, you can probably help them, all of us, hone our story. Because I think that would be the biggest resistance, that people might say, "Oh, I already know what that is."
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But so great. So that's a fantastic bonus. And how much is that worth alone?
$10,000.
Beautiful. And I don't know how long it takes to do that, but you can describe the bonus as, is it a whole day with you? Like a VIP bonus day would be a 10K experience. So if it's spending a day with somebody figuring out what that is, or if it's spending an hour with them figuring out whatever that bonus is, you can break that down as its own product, that is the added thing. And then the last part of it is, what is the guarantee, uh, or what is the risk reversal? For us, we can say, like for the joint venture directory, if people try it out for 60 days and they don't like it, we give them all of their money back. That's a really easy one. Um, there's different ways of doing it, but mostly it's just saying, well, how do I know that I'll get the results that you're promising me? What what will you do if I
You,
don't?
oh yeah, what would I do if you don't? I
You
guess
could say, I'll work with you
I
until you
think that
do. You know.
yeah, I've heard that, offering that guarantee. I have friends that are putting that into their lexicon, and it's probably a little nerve-wracking to do it, but I think it's powerful. Yeah, if you don't come up with your origin story, if you gain nothing, I feel so confident that that's not going to happen, that I feel like I could do that actually.
Yeah,
And
and something
yeah,
else is, like, you don't. I don't ever want to have people promise their money back, because you can't guarantee what somebody else is going to do. I like to put if you do your part, then. And so some people make it impossible. Like you can't ever get your money back, because they just make it so out of reach. You want to make it feel so that they're putting in their part, and that you can guarantee the results. It doesn't have to be that you'll work with them forever, but that you can say, okay, well, we'll give you an extra session, or we'll do a VIP day, or whatever else that extra piece fits. And if people have questions, we could talk about that. But there are people that just say, we have no guarantee, we have no money back, it's all on you. And that does put up a lot of resistance. And I'm not saying it's wrong. It's just, to me, not one of the five elements of a soulful offer is making sure that we have some type of risk reversal, of just making sure that as long as you do your part, you will get the results that you're looking for.
um, it's very interesting though, because in a lot of the things I think that people in this room, the things that we offer people, the people that come back and say, I want the ROI. I mean, I can just think of like Evan, my friend here, who's a dating coach. What's the ROI on a dating coach, right? Finding love. So like how, or for me, it's like learning how to use your voice. And when I'm specifically working with voiceover, it's a little more tangible, but people want to know, when am I going to make that money back? And then to make them understand that they're learning how to use their voice, that might be priceless, but their ROI in their mind is dollar for dollar. But having the conversations with people, I have found to them to understand that we have, like in that program, we have lifetime support in certain areas. So that might not be a money back guarantee, but that's like, hey, if things aren't working out, we're here, we'll still here for you.
That's
So
a
that,
perfect example. That is so good. It's
yeah, so
built in.
lifetime support can, I think, can give you a lot of credibility as an entrepreneur. That company has been around for 30 years. So it's easy to say, hey, Such a Voice has been around for 30 years. We have the track record. It's a little harder, I think, if you're a new entrepreneur. What does lifetime support look like, right? Oh, until I die, you can always call me.
And like you said, especially if you're a relationship coach and you maybe not be able to offer lifetime support, or even as a writing coach, it doesn't always have a financial ROI, but that does bring up my very first coach. Um, I wrote my first book, was called The Human Experience, and my wife was then saying, okay, now what do you want to do? And I had never even thought about life coaching. But to do it, I said, well, let me go check it out. I'll get into a coaching program and get certified. And my very first coach asked me, well, what is your niche? So everybody has their niche, and I'm guessing, actually, if you know your niche, put your niche. What is your niche? Put that in the chat. I'd love to see what everybody else's are. I had never heard the word niche before. this coach had asked me, and he said, well, who do you want to serve? I said, well, I want to be a spiritual coach. And he literally laughed at me and said, well, you won't make any money as a spiritual coach. He goes, you can do anything you want. You can pick any niche, but it has to be one of these three. You can pick health, you can pick wealth, or you can pick love. And then you can sneak in the spirituality like medicine and the dog food. Those were his words to me. Since then, I've learned that those are the big three that people invest in, but they also will invest in leadership and special spiritual, meaningful experiences. All of the stuff that we're investing in really is for our joy. But money is the easiest one to measure. So that is the easiest thing that people can find an ROI on. But if you can show them how this will bring greater joy, greater ease, greater flow, greater connection, greater meaning, if you can quantify that, people will invest in it.